And Keeley Dubensky is back and will tell us what's been going on and help us get ready for the big 30 grand to win race at Tri-County. Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars is next. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cars Tour Weekly presented by R&S Race Cars. I'm Jess Ballard, joined again by JD Boucher in the studio today. And as we mentioned, the late model stocks were in action at ACE this past weekend, and we had a familiar face in Victory Lane.
Yeah, Carson Kvapil, he had a bit of a dry spell going, but he seems to be back on track now. Apparently, he really likes ACE because he runs really well there. So it's been since, I want to say May since he's won a race, and ACE was actually his last win.
It's crazy to say, oh, he's been on a bit of a dry spell, because I just feel like we're always talking about him in short track racing,
yes,
on all of our different shows, all of our different platforms. So, well, we want to thank R&S Race Cars for being a part of the show again this week. If you're looking for a late model stock chassis or additional services, including body hanging, building, and selling parts and turnkey purchases, look no further than R&S Race Cars. It's time now to take a break, but when we come back, Carson Kvapil will be here to tell us how he and the Junior Motorsports team were able to put it all together at ACE. You're watching Cars Tour Weekly, presented by R&S Race Cars.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts. Or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Super Late Models return to Crisp Motorsports Park Saturday, August 19th for the Georgia Summer Nationals. Come see the best Super Late Models in the country. Race for $10,000 to win as part of the ASA Southern Super Series. Plus racing in local divisions. It's the Georgia Summer Nationals Saturday, August 19th at Crisp Motorsports Park in Cordele. For more information, go to southernsuperseries.com. Catch it only on Racing America.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by R&S Race Cars. We've got this past weekend's winner, Carson Kvapil, joining us now. Carson, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, we were just talking earlier in the show about how you've been on a bit of a dry spell, but that's so crazy to say because, I mean, we still hear about you every week. I mean, you still have been having a lot of success, but you really started off the season super strong, and then it's kind of been not radio silence, but you just haven't been in victory lane, which is where we all anticipate seeing you every week. So what was the difference here this past weekend at ACE?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we started the season really, really strong and got second, first. So coming off that, I guess we had a lot of confidence and a little bit of a points gap if you're looking at that too. So we just kind of wanted to try a few different things, kind of just get outside of our box on some stuff. And since we had a little bit of a comfortable lead on the points and the season was going well, we decided just to try a few things. And I mean, like any team, we're just trying to get better every week, and we thought it was a good opportunity, but just kind of figured out that just wasn't like we were still finishing good and stuff like that, but we just didn't have the um the dominant speed that we had been having before. So just we reined it all back in, kind of, I guess you'd say, for this ace race, and put the spring notes back in it, and just had a really dominant car like we did last year, or last time we were there. Sorry.
Now, I heard you mention points. So you have a 24-point lead over Butterbean right now. What is your strategy for how you're going to proceed with the rest of the season, knowing that he's so close, and then Connor Hall's real close behind him, and then Mason Diaz, those boys are chasing you? How are you going to go forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess, just like how the season's going and how we did last season, just smart, good, consistent finishes. If we have a car to win, we have a car to win, but there's just some nights that's just not your night, you know. So I can't take a third or fourth place car and go, I guess, not finish the race with it and kill yourself in the points type deal. So just being smart and making good decisions throughout the year, just like anything really, any race, just you got to finish the race first to have a shot at winning it. So just hopefully, obviously, we want to get a few more wins, and I think we will with this junior motorsports car, but just all about being consistent and finishing all the laps.
I wanted to go back to what you said about, you guys started pushing the envelope and trying new things, and obviously you kind of have to do that to continue to progress in this sport. Everything is so competitive. There's a lot of really, really smart people in this level of the sport, and sometimes you get off the baseline and you go the wrong direction, and it's really hard to win when you're not perfect and when you're trying new things. And in short track racing, there's a little bit more, I think. Obviously, you can try compared to, what the Cup guys are dealing with the next gen car. For the folks watching that maybe aren't as mechanically inclined, give us an example of some things that these late model stock teams and really all these short track teams in general can try week to week.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the biggest thing that we're able to do for setup wise is just like shocks, springs, and bumps and stuff like that. It's pretty well open, especially the Cars Tour stuff. There really isn't a whole lot of, I guess, tight guidelines for the shocks and springs and stuff. So you can run anything you want. You can run bump stops, no bump stops. It's just, there's always many different ways to go about it. So every week, us and I'm sure everybody else in the pits are trying new shock builds, trying new springs and stuff like that. So obviously there's some other stuff that you can do, but for setup wise, but I'd say the biggest thing would be that it's just, there's so many combinations you can run, and we were just messing around with that stuff a little bit along with a few other things, and just like you said, just we're always trying to find speed, even if we are coming off a three race win streak.
So with that being said, you're obviously, learning everything you can, late model stock wise. You're knocking on the door of your second championship. What's your goal from here? Where do you go from here? Do you spend more time in the Cars Tour? Do you move up somewhere else? Do you go run trucks? What are you looking at in the next 5-6 years?
It's a tough question, I mean, obviously, all of us that are racing Cars Tour, or at least most of us, we all want to go race the Cup Series one day, but very few get that opportunity. So for me, I'm just trying to make the most of it in this late model, and just really, I'm fortunate just to be in the position I am running this junior motorsports Chevrolet. So you never know. I mean, you keep winning races and stuff like that. Like Josh Berry, you get a chance, but just you never know when your last win's going to be, I guess, and that's not really something I'm thinking about right now. but you never know. I mean, you could jump in an ARCA car in a month, or you could run late models for 8 more years and then be done racing. So obviously, I wanna move up the ranks and stuff like that, but just the opportunities kind of had to fall in place for that to happen.
Well, Carson, I think you're certainly in a great position. You're always a favorite to win, and it's been really exciting to watch you this season and seasons past
Yeah.
and in seasons future.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love this. Obviously, everybody that's watching this obviously loves racing just like I do. But being able to compete in this junior motorsports, Bass Pro Chevy has been um, it's been huge. I was running my dad's super late model for a few years, and that was kind of as far as we could go and run here or there and stuff like that. And then to get this opportunity has been awesome, and opens the door for many more opportunities for me. I would hope so. I guess we'll just have to see.
Well, thanks for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about your recent win, and good luck this weekend at Tri County.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think we'll have a good car. I believe. I think we had a shot to win the Tri County race last year, but I guess that place gets a little rough, and I kind of threw it away a little bit. So I think we'll have a really good setup to base off of, and I think I've ran there enough that we should be contending for the win, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Carson. Coming up next, we are going to take a look at the highlights from ACE and get you prepared for the much anticipated Old North State Nationals at Tri County.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
One of racing's crown jewels, the 50th annual Oxford 250 returns to Oxford Plains Speedway with 3 big days of racing, August 25th through the 27th. See North America's best short trackers battle for a chance at $50,000 on Sunday, August 27th. Plus, racing for the ACT late models, New England Super Modifieds, and more. It's the 50th annual Oxford 250, August 25th through the 27th, and you can see it all on Racing America.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by RNS Race Cars. Jess and JD here with you again today. And JD, we just finished talking to ACE winner Carson Kvapil. And if you're Carson, coming into this point of the season is where you want to start hitting your strides.
Yeah, you better be hitting your marks at this point in the season. Everybody else is aiming to do the same thing. It's getting shorter. It's almost the end. He's chasing his second championship. Butterbean's trying to catch him. Those first 5, I want to say, positions, they're not but maybe 120 points apart. So you really need to be on your A game this weekend. Not to mention it's $30,000.
Okay, now let's go to the highlights, and Ace was the place to be for the Cars Tour this past weekend. Carson Kvapil starting on the pole, but it was Butterbean Queen getting the advantage at the start by taking the lead.
Look at the lower right of the screen right here. That's Connor Zilch in the 57 getting turned off the nose of Trevor Ward. Following a caution flag with 57 laps to go, Kvapil along with Hickory winner Mason Diaz dropped Butterbean back to third.
Kvapil stretches it out over the remaining laps for his tour-leading 4th win of the season. Now that leads us to a huge weekend coming up at Tri-County. The Pro Late Models racing for $5,000 to win, and the Late Model stocks going for a whopping $30,000 to win in the Old North State Nationals.
Yeah, that's good money for these short track racers, these grassroots racers. Tri-County is one of my favorite places. It's an excellent facility. The Higgins family does a great job. Phil Combs. This is going to be a huge race. Not that every Cars Tour race, I feel like I say that every week, is going to be huge, but this is going to be a really big one with that huge purse.
And as we mentioned, the Pro Late Models return. Carson Kvapil was there for a one-off start back in May and won, but you've got to think Katie Hettinger is on the cusp of her first ever win.
Yeah, she's knocking on the door. It's time for her to get her first win. It's past time for her. So if I don't see her in victory lane this coming weekend, I will be very shocked.
Thanks, JD. Coming up, it's the long-awaited return of our girl, Keeley Dubensky. She'll get us caught up on this record-breaking season for the Cars Tour. Cars Tour Weekly presented by RNS Race Cars will be back right after this.
Super Late Models return to Crisp Motorsports Park Saturday, August 19th for the Georgia Summer Nationals. Come see the best Super Late Models in the country. Race for $10,000 to win as part of the ASA Southern Super Series. Plus racing in local divisions. It's the Georgia Summer Nationals Saturday, August 19th at Crisp Motorsports Park in Cordele. For more information, go to southernsuperseries.com. Catch it only on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
I'm Chad Knaus, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly presented by RNS Race Cars. JD and I are joined now by the lovely Keeley Dubensky of the Cars Tour. Keeley, thank you for joining us. We miss you. We are understanding that you're a very, very busy girl. I wish you were joining us in person, but and also you owe me lunch.
Ooh.
We've been trying to connect on a lunch date so I can just catch up, but I guess we'll just do it here on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's weird to be on this end of it.
You're in your car. Are you going to work, leaving work, headed to a racetrack? Or just hanging out in your car?
So I can't do things like this upstairs in the office because Jack answers his phone through his hearing aids.
Ooh. Ooh.
So he's so loud. So I have to find some peace and quiet around here in my car.
See, this is the behind the scenes
Things.
Cars Tour content that we.
This is what the people actually really want.
Correct. This is why we have Keeley on the show. So, okay, let's dive into the Cars Tour, like the specific stuff that I have on my list I need to ask you about. The main thing being this massive 30,000 to win race coming up. Just give us what do we need to know besides the fact that
just go.
Yeah, I mean, it's some people's annual salary.
Yeah, so 30,000 to win for the late model stocks. It's wild. We're also paying 5,000 to win for the pro late models as well, but that 30,000, I mean, that's life-changing for most people, I would say. You know what I mean? Especially for these racers to be able to put that money back into their program, and travel cost is increasing as the years go on. So this one they've been testing for weeks. They're so excited to get to the track. Our start money this weekend just to take the green flag is $1,400.
Wow.
So it's a really big weekend, and the entry list is pretty large. So I don't know, it's anybody's game.
How many cars do you have entered thus far?
As of right now, we have 32.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we've seen, I think, a little bit of a trend in these bigger purses for late model shows, because that's something that we've all complained about for seasons and seasons and seasons.
Yes.
However, I do feel like a lot of them still, I'm putting my racer hat on, speaking as like a team manager. They're still not offsetting the cost to go to the racetrack. This is an amount of money, even that start money is truly an amount of money that the average person, a true grassroots racer, it makes sense for them to show up to the racetrack. I think people maybe that aren't super deep into the industry realize truly how expensive this is. And so, I mean, yeah, we know $30,000 is a lot of money, but truly sit down and do the math. Like, this is a huge deal.
Right. I mean, racing is expensive in general. And, at the touring level, like I said before, you have that additional travel cost that some of these teams aren't necessarily used to. So when they do come to run with us full time, it's a little bit more expensive. But like I said, with what we pay in our purse, even our normal purse being 7,000 to win is pretty manageable for these teams. So we try to give them back enough to continue their programs as much as we can, really. I mean, it all goes back to the competitors.
Well, I was intrigued by, I wanted to know, you've got new ownership in this year. You got, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you got Justin Marks, what are we going to see change maybe next year? What's really changing inside the Cars Tour to make it, not that it really can be a better show, but to make it even better for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I think that some things that we've been focusing on for next year is just getting more eyeballs on the series and finding a way to bring in more competitors, especially feeding from the local level, and just get a lot more people invested in the grassroots racing as a whole too, even at the local level. Like it's so important now that we have so many more eyeballs on us, and especially with the Cars Tour, we have this ownership group power to really build the entire short track industry as a whole. So, I mean, I think that we're building on a lot of exciting things for next year, but our key values and pieces are going to remain the same and just continue building onto that. I think you might see some new racetracks next year, some increased purses. We'll see. We're dabbling in a couple of different ideas, but for the most part, we're going to be the same old Cars Tour.
Woohoo! Yeah. I mean, at the last time we talked to you on this show, of course, heading into the season, we talked a lot about the new ownership group. That was the big story. Obviously, we were all optimistic in how that was going to play out, but it was still early in the season. It was too soon to say. And I'm glad to hear that at this point in the season, we're getting to the back half, that, just from an outsider's perspective, everyone just looks happy. Everyone seems to be pushing in the same direction. All of the things that we hoped would come to fruition have. And it's just been really exciting to watch. I think that you're exactly right. The Cars Tour was already a huge series in this area, in the Carolinas, kind of in this region. And I think just more and more people have started paying attention, and we kind of hope that it's a gateway drug to the rest of the short track racing world.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, we can cut that out if I can't say that. So anyway, we're just so proud of you. Is there, before we let you go, is there anything else that we need to be updated on, that we can be looking forward to this season that I didn't ask you about? What's on your mind, Keeley?
I will say that when we get to Tri-County this weekend, we have trackside spots still available, and for any fans that are watching, go out and buy that trackside space and watch these guys battle for this $30,000, because I promise you it's going to be something that you'll want to see. Right now, just our qualifying times at ACE last weekend, between first place pole sitter to 10th place was less than a 10th off in speed.
Yeah, I saw a video and there were two cars and you couldn't even tell. It was crazy. I was like, oh, where'd that other car come from?
Yeah. So courtesy of Adam Circle Performance Technologies and some Race Trace data, we have been trying to implement that into the series more often this year, just because our entire field is so close. So I'm telling y'all, this is one that you do not want to miss.
There you go. You heard it from Keeley first. Yep. Trackside spots still available. Best seat in the house for an incredible show coming up at Tri-County. Thank you so much for joining us from the comfort of your car, Keeley. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, when we come back, we are going to wrap up another episode of Cars Tour Weekly. We'll be back right after this.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Believe it. Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanted to make that first lap.
One of racing's crown jewels, the 50th annual Oxford 250 returns to Oxford Plains Speedway with 3 big days of racing, August 25th through the 27th. See North America's best short trackers battle for a chance at $50,000 on Sunday, August 27th. Plus, racing for the ACT late models, New England Super Modifieds, and more. It's the 50th annual Oxford 250, August 25th through the 27th, and you can see it all on Racing America.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Cars Tour Weekly presented by RNS Race Cars, your one-stop shop for late model stock chassis, body hanging, turnkey purchases, parts, and baseline setups. Again, it's the Old North State Nationals at Tri-County Speedway, and we'll recap it all next week on Cars Tour Weekly.
Yeah, so I was actually at Tri-County, I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago, with GNSS, and there was a late model race there, and lo and behold, I looked over when people were unloading, and there's Butterbean and Mason Diaz. So I was like, oh, they're here to race, but then I was like, click, they are testing for the next couple weeks. So those guys, they were both really strong, and Diaz looked really, really good. Something happened, I didn't get to see it, but Butterbean ended up winning, but those two, I think, are going to be really competitive this weekend.
We want to thank Carson Kvapil and Keeley Dubensky for joining us today. And remember, for replays and more, go to racingamerica.tv. And be sure to check out our Racing America's 24/7 channel free on connected devices. And don't forget racingamerica.com and all of our social channels for any breaking news from the NASCAR Cup Series, Cars Tour, and more. Stay with Racing America from Wisconsin's State Park Speedway tonight, featuring the super late models in the Lodi Memorial. For JD Boucher, I'm Jess Ballard saying we'll see you next week.